Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me in today's episode. And what I want to share with you today is really probably the most extreme stock trading journal that you might have seen, at least in a public sense for personal accounts. So that's what I want to share with you today is looking at journals, how to keep up with journals and creating one, and just some of the things that I've evolved over the years and kind of where I'm at in journaling. So stay tuned. I'm going to share with you some insights here on how to journal and the thought process behind it. All right, so if you've ever tried to start a trading journal and you start to see things as kind of a list, sometimes you get lost in the shuffle. Now, there's a lot of advantages to trading journals. For example, the things you've done right, that's great. That's a positive sensation, but also the things you've done wrong. And I think that's really where the trading journals excel quite a bit, is finding and figuring out things where you might have some problems and issues. And that's the point of journaling, is to keep improving, or at least make sure that the numbers are on track. And it's quite important when it comes to stock trading. It's just as important in business development and other things. But when it comes to trading, you get to see trends, patterns, and see, hey, are you on the right track? Now, before we get started into this video, I do want to let you know that you should check out some of the getting started pages here on our website at tradersfly.com. A lot of great freebies, tons of great courses. You can check out the membership and even the coaching sections if you're brand new, and it may help you out. So we just released not too long ago one of the options mastery courses, and can learn quite a bit there from the diagonals and butterflies, which are coming up very, very soon. So anyways, when we look at trading journals, I've used quite a lot over the years, and one of them has been Airtable. It's been fantastic because what you can do with Airtable is you can even attach kind of screenshots like, hey, this is the calendar position that I'm getting into right now, and then you evaluate the delta, gamma, theta, vega, and kind of the risks. Now, it doesn't matter if you're trading stocks, options, whatever. The point is that you're looking to find out how to manage these trades in a portfolio base, so you could see what's going on, what's happening, what are you doing right, what are you doing wrong. And I find that Airtable has been very good in that regard. And what you can do here is you can even set up little forms where you could go ahead and pop things in right here. And when you do that, it goes right into the trade to go in and, hey, this is the active trade that I have. So you can go ahead and custom create kind of these forms and kind of enter that in. Now, the other great thing about Airtable is you could go ahead and group things and sort things by group, and you can say, okay, well, I want to go ahead and filter things based on this or that. So here what I have is kind of a ticker symbol, enter and exit date, days till expiration, days in the trade. You could nickname your trade. We have iron condors, we have butterflies, you have long investments. You could name it whatever. You could call it cockroach, ratio, weekly, it doesn't matter. There's a caterpillar trade. You can call it all kinds of names. And then you can put in your type of trade, what basket, is it active or closed, price, the VIX, contract size or stock size. So everybody's got their own kind of fields for trading journals. And I find that when I did something like this, it was much more linear fashion, where trade. Then what I had to do was a little bit more hop around to another database where you have to look at your account summary. So now let's say, okay, you're trading for July, and now you look at, okay, here's my account, and you can name these maybe a little bit different. So this might be your margin account, you might have an IRA account, so you might have a couple of different accounts, and and then you can go ahead and choose for the month. And then you can say, okay, what year? Okay, I'll choose the year 2020, and I could say, hey, my starting balance was $25,000, and now my ending balance was, let's say, $26,000. So, you can start looking at that and then create some custom formulas for difference in growth and profit. But then what I noticed was a lot of these things aren't linked up. You have to deal with the account summary and then look at the active trades. And a lot of it was not as linked up as I liked. So what I've been doing recently was experimenting with some different trading journals, and what I found was you really need a little more relationship. Now, I think Airtable is still fantastic and great to use, especially for people getting started. When we do it with mentoring people, I find that Airtable has been a lifesaver when we're working with trades, because it's very simple to use. You don't have to go too far to learn new software. It's kind of like Excel, but a little bit more powerful. So it's a really good balance for starting things out. But here, what I want to show you is a little bit more powerful of a way to look at things. And maybe if you project things in the future and you're kind of managing things on a daily basis, maybe a weekly basis, then on a quarterly basis or a monthly basis, and then a yearly basis, this is what looking at all the numbers really means and why it's kind of important. And to show you this concept, we're going to go ahead and take a look at paper real quick, why I chose kind of the method that I'm at right now. And of course, you can evolve it, use different tools that you want, but I want to show you the power of what I'm using and what you can go ahead and think about as you either construct your own or create a journal for yourself. Now, before we continue, I will put a link to Airtable down in the description, or you could go to our resources page and sign up to Airtable if you want. It just gives me kind of credit, but Airtable is free to use. So if you do get on a paid plan, like let's say you have more than 5,000 records, then they do start charging you. Now, when we look at kind of a trading journal of what I'm actually looking for here in the future, what I found is really helpful is you look at things kind of, okay, we have kind of our database or table. So here's our trades. And then I had my next thing that was kind of right here where it might be my account summary. And then what I found was, okay, well, what are the things to improve on? So I kind of looked at it as a little separate. So I had like these division markers as I'm doing a lot of the trading journals. And you might have a bunch of trades and you might put improvements in your account summary every time at the top, kind of in the trade. But then what I found was these became extremely long. Okay, if you're doing it every day, or let's say every week or every month, you're putting on a trade, even if you're doing a few trades a month, these initial trades would be very long if you're trying to crunch data in there, and you couldn't see trends split up. That became difficult, especially with software like Evernote, because it's just very text oriented. It becomes a little bit more difficult. So I wanted to figure something out where I could have something where all these different spots are kind of linked together. So we had here, and this linked to there, and this linked to here, and that linked back to there. But that way I could also see the data split up in different spots. So that was the whole point. And what I want to show you here is a software program. It's called Notion. And Notion is very powerful. So let's take a look at this. This is a Notion workspace here. I'll put you in the investment section. Now, I custom created this a little bit for you as a template to show you the power behind it. But you can modify this based on your personal needs. And I use this kind of in my own area of trading and investing. That I've started recently, but here I've put in some dummy numbers so you can go ahead and just get an idea. And of course, for those of you that like the black view, you can see that, which, as you know, most trading screens are black to save your eyes. So anyways, when we have this, just to show you the big picture behind it, what's powerful about this is you can include and embed different tables and databases all within a single page. So I'll open up just a sidebar here. And what you'll notice is I have a couple of different databases folded in under a single big picture database. Okay, so here's what I kind of have. Is I have, let's say I put my main investments, you could put trade strategy ideas in here, master tick marks. So could be like, hey, you put in your ticker symbols in here, and then it'll link up to the trade. So like, hey, if I want to look at all the trades that I did for McDonald's, it can link it up. That's really the power behind it is, hey, I could go ahead and say, hey, what's the Disney and what was that trade? What did it do? I could look at all the Tesla trades, and you can look it up and you can open it up and you can see, hey, what did it do? So again, as long as you fill it all out and everything. So that's what I wanted to do, is make sure that things were linked up. Now, let's start this from the top and just give you a big overview picture first. So here I have do account balances and summaries. Some people like to track it daily. In this case, I did it kind of on a week-to-week basis, just because I find it's a lot easier for people that are, that way you don't have to worry about daily fluctuations. But let me just give you a big picture. So the daily account balances, or the account balances, would be just, hey, where are you on your account balance at that time, at the date you record it. Daily recon could be, hey, if you're looking at certain ticker symbols, what's the open, or what's the move, and what's the percent move, and maybe the volatility if you want to track it, or days till expiration. You could do those kinds of things. I don't really use the days till expiration. Actually, that was for option trading there, so I could actually just delete that. Active trades right here. This could be the active trades you're doing, and you could put in pictures in here. That's the power of this, and you can go ahead and write things in here. You could go ahead and put in risk profile pictures if you want a risk profile, or multiple pictures. And you can even change the view. So for those of you that like tabular or table data, you could do something like that. And now what you have is, hey, here's all the active trades. There's a ticker, and you can see this and how many days till expiration. And what's great and powerful about this is you can really also get, like, let's say, some calculations. So if, for example, your target percentage was 9 here, you can see there's your target and price, which what you could do is you could say, what's my average target that I typically make on stocks, or what I'm aiming for? What's my, let's say, average percentage that I'm looking to make, or something like that. You could put in delta, theta, vega for those of you that trade options, maybe an adjustment point, final profit and loss if you want to record that, and then this would be a calculation of that. When it was created, and then how it links up. Here's the power, and this is the point, is how it links up to the trading journal. So here's kind of the trading journal there. Then we also have kind of the monthly reports, quarterly reports, and yearly reports. So that's basically the big picture. So what's the point of doing all of this? Well, what you do in this case is you can see you have all of this kind of data here. And what you can do is split this up to, hey, here's all my active trades, and I funnel it like this. And I can go ahead and say, hey, I want my active trades always at the top, maybe account balances here at the very top. I got my active trades. I could do my daily recon, put it kind of at the bottom, or hey, if you want it way at the top, right under. So I do my account balance, then I do daily, and then here's my active trades. And then what you do is you link up on a week-to-week basis. So here's kind of, let's say, week, this one was June 24th to June 30th that I did an example. And then that is week number 26. That's what the 26th there is. And then what you do is you create the next week. So here we've got July 1 to, let's say, July 8. And then what you can do is fill it out, and all the trades there for that week can open up. And you can say, hey, here's all the trades that happened during that week or closed at that week. And that way you can see, hey, what's your profit and loss? And then these are roll-up fields, which are, they roll from all these trades, your average return, your biggest percent return, your biggest money maker, and your biggest, your lowest percentage and lowest dollar amount. So anyways, and you can rearrange these based on what you kind of want and how you want to structure it there. So then you get into the monthly reports. Well, the monthly reports here are tied to also these weekly portfolios, and they're tied to the quarterlies, and they're tied to the yearlies. So this way, everything is linked up. So if I start digging into something and I start seeing, hey, something looks a little off or weird, let's say on the monthlies, which you could say average net lick on the monthly report could be whatever. It looks a little weird. So what you could do is open up this monthly. So let me zoom out. So I open up the monthly. Then I could say, hey, well, here's all the different weeks. Let me check this week out, and let me go into this one and see, okay, what was that? There's some issues maybe going on in there, or maybe not. And then what you do is, as you look into these and you start finding these things, they're all tied together. And you can go ahead and look, which I didn't actually link this one up, but you can go ahead and link them up into this journal. So this journal, basically, if you look at the monthly, and I say, okay, well, let me open up this monthly. Here's my journal. I open that up, and for that month, hey, is there something that looks good or not good? What does it look like? What is the issues? And I could also look at the trades. There's no trades in that one. Let's go into here. Let's open, because this is, I put in February, but there's no February. It's just an example. So as we look into this right here, let's see, tie this one up. Let's see if there's any. Nope. Okay, so here's what happens is that basically when you're looking into these trades now, what you can do is you're tying this into June 24th and June 30th. This is July 4th and July 27th. So as I open this up right here, this one should be, let's say July, for the month of July. Let's just name it right. This one might be June, just so you can see things. And then what you'll do is you'll open it up. And you can say, hey, where's my journal here? Let me open it up right here. And now what I can do is I can see, hey, this is this field. Here's the trade. Let me open up that trade. And then you can see the exact item for the trade. There you go. So that way I'm not confused on the dates. So basically it's all tied together that you can go ahead and link things up. As you do more of these and you kind of keep up with it with the logs, you can hop around as needed. So how would you go ahead and do this on a daily or weekly basis? Well, let's just say, okay, at the beginning, you go ahead and you say, okay, I want to go ahead and add a new trade. So I'll go ahead and say, okay, here's the new trade. You can create a template for this if you like. So let's say we go ahead and add an icon and we say, hey, we're going to do a trade on, let's say, ExxonMobil. We're going to do a calendar, 45 days till expiration. And now what you can do is add a ticker symbol. If there's not one, you can go ahead and add a ticker symbol. So you can create a new ticker symbol there. So it got added. Then what you can do is go ahead and add it. Hey, is it a hedge, long portfolio? Let's say it's for monthly income. You can say, hey, today's the entry date. These are formulas that are calculated, so we're not going to go ahead and enter them. These will be further down below at the bottom. It's going to be an active trade. You might have an adjustment point that you might want to go ahead and tweak things. You might say, hey, I got 5 contracts. This created part will go kind of towards the bottom there. Days in trade, again, that's a formula that's based on entry and kind of exit date. And let's say that you don't have an exit date, but you have an expiration date of here. So all these will be kind of entry, expiration, could be right here rearranged for you. That way it just keeps it there for the future. And then what you can do is put in your margin. How much did that trade cost? Let's say it costs 3,000 on the margin. You don't want to lose maybe more than 500. You could put in some notes. You could say the stock price is at 52.50. Your target maybe as far as how much are you trying to make. So here, this would be up here. Maybe you're trying to make, I don't know, $350 on the trade. So that would be an 11.67%. So you can see it goes ahead and calculates that. This will be kind of down here, delta, gamma, theta. So you could go ahead and fill out the delta, gamma, theta, and vega. So let's say a delta of like 5.25, theta of 3.2, and a vega of 15. And then what you do is you link it up to this trading journal. So what kind of week period are you doing it in? And this would be kind of for that week period of maybe July. So now it's linked up. So this is the point of linking. So now as I get into this, you can see, okay, well, here's that trade now. There's the ExxonMobil trade, and it's right there. And all that data now computes and goes together. And what you can actually even do is start adding these in with time to kind of even the monthly reports if you want. So it just depends how much linking you want to do. I kind of don't overdo it because what you can do actually is, let's say I go ahead and create a link to trades. So you could even do it on a monthly basis. And we will go ahead and create a relationship here. And this will be active trades, create it. And I can go ahead and say, hey, for July, here's my active trades. Here's my ExxonMobil. I go ahead and then it's right there, it's added. So you could stack a bunch of trades there. That way, if you go into a month-to-month basis, you can look it up. So anyways, this is the base concept. I don't want to dig too deep into it, but the whole point behind this is that now you can put things in on account balances. If you're tracking account balances, you could do it daily, you could do it weekly, you could do it monthly. It depends how much you want to do. You could do daily recon. Hey, how has been the open, the move? Yes, you could look at a chart, but this can give you a little more of the average prices and much more. What are the active trades that you have? You could have, hey, these are the active ones, these are the closed ones. So you might go ahead and filter these things where you only see where, let's say, the active is not closed. And now you only see kind of the active trades there that are happening. So you could do that. You've got a trading journal on a week-to-week basis, so you could track kind of how are things going on a week-to-week basis. Or if you want to just do monthly, you could. You don't have to dig deeper into the weekly. You could just do it on a monthly basis. How are your monthly results? And you could do it on a quarterly. But do you have to track quarterly? No, you could do it just on the weekly. You could do it just on the monthly. So that's another level that you could do, and so forth. And then of course the yearly. So again, you can add more fields. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that a lot of these things are linked. Do you have to go this extreme? No. You could keep it simple. You could keep it as simple as doing kind of the Airtable I showed you. You could do it in Excel. But what I find when you do these kind of links amongst things is that, let's say you notice something's wrong with July or June, or even here on a just a basis, which you could say is problems you've had maybe this week, and you could write your notes for the week of, hey, the problems I had is, you know, volatility problems. Here you could say you were just stressed out from the kids. So as you get into these kinds of things, you could put in kind of the notes and see, hey, that week was down. Well, why was I down or something? And it's, oh, the kids are always bugging me. Or here, your volatility problem. So, oh, I'm always having trouble with calendars. So it gives you a quick idea real fast of any issues. So this is what you can kind of do. And as you look into month to month, you can just hop right into those trades and then see the other trades that are there and just jump right into it and create some linking. And this gives you a bird's eye view of maybe showing an account balance in kind of a way that maybe not a hedge fund would really track it. They have their own internal systems and so on, but just to give you an idea of maybe a more in-depth and detailed way that you can start tracking things, because now everything's a little more tied together. And the problem is, of course, you do have to do some linking as you do this. So when you do account balances, you got to do it every week. When you do active trades, you put it on all the time. When you do a trading journal there, that's also every week. So every week at the, let's say on Friday, you link everything up. Monthly report at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month, you always link up everything for the next month. So if you go ahead and add, let's say, the new month, so here would be maybe August 2020, then what you have to do is say, okay, well, today is August, okay, and then I have to link it up to which journal. So I don't have an August one there, but let's say, okay, I link it up to these couple of journals for August. In this case, it's July. Any trades you might want to link up for that. Okay, so let's say you link up a few trades, whatever the August ones are, right? I don't have any in there as examples. The net lick, any portfolio things you went ahead and for the account sizes, you could go ahead and link those up. And now what you'll notice is you're really just linking things up. And here is kind of the quarter, whatever the quarter is, and you've linked that up, and for the year. And the year, oh, I don't have that one. Maybe there it is. I don't have it. I don't have that one linked up properly right now. So once you link those things up, now you get a bird's eye view to pretty much everything there that you want to go ahead and view, and it's linked up. And you can keep it as simple as you want, or more complicated than even this that I have. But I just want to show you to open up your eyes, maybe another way of doing things and maybe another perspective to journaling your trades. And as I said, you know, normally keep it simple as you need, but if you're doing a lot of trading, sometimes it's good to see the reports as well. Ultimately, I'd say at the beginning, always keep it simple. But I just want to also expand your mind to show you maybe possibilities and see what you could do with it if you wanted to really take it to a maybe more intricate, in-depth level and way. So anyways, this is called, this program is called Notion. It's free, I believe. And Notion, so here's Notion. And you can see and sign up for it. I don't get any credit or anything for it, and it's for personal use. It's free. You can get unlimited pages, share with some guests, and if you even want to use version history, you can just pay $4 a month. So it's very cost effective and affordable if you really want to use it to an in-depth level. So thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this video, maybe gave you some things to think about, and maybe open up your mind a bit. Again, that was just a sample. It's just a sample logbook for you that you can go ahead and check out. And don't let it overwhelm you. You can keep your trading journal on just a piece of paper and notepad. But the point of the journal is to go back and look at things. And to learn from them and evolve and improve. So that way you can see which trades are working, which trades are not. And then you can filter things maybe by the butterflies. Are you doing the best on butterflies, or the best on calendars, or the best on iron condors? And then you can focus more capital in that area. So these things help out in a program like maybe this. Anyways, feel free to grab some freebies that I have, and even go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.